Good evening. So today we are going to discuss about domain and range of a function. So before discussing what domain and range are actually, let us try to understand what a function is. So a function is nothing but a relation where each input has exactly one output. So for example, let us say there are two sets, set A and set B. Let us say A, B, C are the elements of set A and 1, 2, 3 are the elements of set B. Now, if each element of A has exactly one image in B, you can call that as a function. So this is the basic understanding of a function, right? Now moving on, there are different types of functions for which we will be trying to understand the domain and range. So among them, the first one is identity function. When I say identity function is nothing but f of x is equals to x, or I can say y is equals to x. So that means both x and y, that is my input and output, resemble each other. So let us say I am taking x is equals to 1. So my f of x, that is nothing but y, will also be equal to 1. Let us say x is equals to minus 3. So my f of x, that is nothing but y, will also be equal to minus 3. Let us take x is equals to 0. So y will also be 0. Right. Now, the domain of this identity function is nothing but any real number, and similarly the range also can be any real number. And the graph of this identity function is nothing but a straight line passing through the origin. Right? So for example, this is 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 2, or let us say minus 1, minus 1, minus 1, minus 2, minus 2, minus 3, minus 3. Right? Like this. Right. Next one. Next one is constant function. See, constant, so it doesn't change for any change in input value. So constant function. So let us say f of x is equals to c. So let us consider an example of, let us say f of x is equals to 3. That is nothing but y is equals to 3. So the graph of a constant function looks like this. This is 0, 1, 2, 3, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, 1, 2, 3. So for any given input, for any given value of x, my output would be the same. That is nothing but 3. Right. So the graph looks like a line parallel to x-axis. Now coming to the domain of the constant function. The domain is nothing but any real number, but the range is always the constant value that I am using. So in this case, it would be 3. Right? Clear? Then next one. Modulus function. What is it? Modulus function. So when I say modulus refers to the absolute value of an integer. That is the meaning of modulus. Right, now let us say modulus of x will be x for x greater than or equal to 0, and it will be minus x for any value, for any x value less than 0. So take an example, let us say modulus of 2. So modulus of 2, it is greater than 0, so it would give me 2. And let us say modulus of minus 2. So modulus of minus 2, I will be getting all, I am supposed to consider only the absolute value. So absolute value is 2. That is nothing but minus x. Right? So here this is my x and my output is minus x. Right? Now coming to the domain of this function. What is the domain of a modulus function? So domain can be any real number. Right? But when it comes to range, range would be all non-negative real numbers, the real values. Right? So how do you represent the graph of a modulus function? So let us say I am taking, as I have already told, modulus of x will be x for x is greater than or equal to 0 and minus x if x value is less than 0. Now let us say I am taking modulus of 0. So modulus of 0 would be 0, modulus of 1 would be 1, modulus of minus 1 would be 1, modulus of 2 would be 2, modulus of minus 2 would be 2. So how do I represent this on the graph? So this is origin, x-axis and y-axis, right? Let us say this is 1. So 0, 0, 1, 1, and for minus 1 also it would be 1, for minus 2 it would be 2, and for 2 also it would be 2, right? Right? This is how the graph of a modulus function would look like. Then next one, signum function. What is it? Signum function. So what happens with regards to a signum function? So signum function f of x is always equals to 1 if x value is greater than 0, and it is equals to 0 if x value is 0, and it is equals to minus 1 if x value is less than 0. Right? So how do I show in terms of graphical representation? So for all values greater than 0 it is 1. See, I am drawing a little bit of circle like thing. That means it is not defined at that particular point. Okay, this is 0. Similarly here also circle like thing is nothing but minus 1. So this is how the graph of a signum function would look like. And when it comes to domain, domain of a signum function can be any real value. And when I say range, range would be minus 1, 0, 1. Now what we are going to do is we will do a few questions from our NCERT textbook on domain and range. So the first question is like this. F of x is equals to minus of modulus of x. So this f of x, that is nothing but minus of modulus of x, would be defined for as minus x if x value is greater than or equal to 0, and as x if x value is less than 0. Right? So let us say, for example, let us take 0. So this would give me 0. Modulus of minus 1, it would give me minus 1. Modulus of minus 1, let us say minus 1 now. So this will again give me minus 1. So here my domain would be all real values, whereas my range would be minus infinity in open interval to 0. Right? This would be my range. Right? Then one more question, next question. So the difference between open interval and closed interval. When I say open interval of a comma b, it means all the values between a and b excluding a and b. So you won't include a and b. But when I say closed interval, from a to b, it means all the values between a to b including a and b. Right? So that is the difference between open interval and closed interval. Right? Now moving on. Right, f of x is equals to root of 9 minus x square. So we all know very clearly that the value under the root should always be greater than or equal to 0. So that means 9 minus x square is greater than or equal to 0. Right? So 9 minus x square is greater than or equal to 0. Now, this is nothing but I am multiplying with negative value. So I can write it as x square minus 9 is lesser than or equal to 0. Right? Then what happens? X plus 3 into x minus 3 is less than or equal to 0. That would imply x is less than or equal to 3 and x is greater than or equal to minus 3. So my domain would look like this, closed interval of minus 3 comma 3, or I can also write minus 3 is less than or equal to x less than or equal to 3. So this would be the domain of the given function. Now coming to the range, let us say I am taking x value to be 0. So my f of x would be 3. Let us say my x value is 3. So this would become 0. So the range would be 0 comma 3 in closed intervals. Already it is very clearly defined that this value should be greater than or equal to 0. Right? So you need not worry about negative values. Right? That is one question. Then you can pause the video and make a note. Then moving on. There is one question like this. Find the range of the given function where f of x is equals to 2 minus 3x. Right? Also they have mentioned that x belongs to R and x value is always greater than 0. That means they are clearly giving us the domain. So domain is nothing but set of all positive real numbers. Right? Now given x is greater than 0, that means 3x is also greater than 0. That means minus 3x is less than 0 and 2 minus 3x is less than 2. Right? So what would be my function? I mean my range of the function. So the range of the function would be minus infinity comma 2 in open intervals, right? Next question. What is the next question? F of x is equals to x square plus 2. F of x is equals to x square plus 2, where x is a real number. So very clearly they have given the domain stating that x is a real number. If x is a real number, then x square would always be a positive, or let us say would always be non-negative real number, right? You take 0, 0 square is 0, 1 square is 1, minus 1 square is 1, right? So I would always get a non-negative real value. So that means x square is greater than or equal to 0. And when I say x square plus 2 greater than or equal to 2, now the range of this function would be 2 comma infinite, right? So this is the range of my function. Right, last question. Let's see one more question. F of x is equals to x, where x is a real number. See, this is nothing but an identity function, right? So you already know the domain and range of an identity function. What is the domain? Real number. What is the range? Real number. Right? Right, this is one question where they are asking us to find the domain of a polynomial function. You can also call it as a rational function, right? So when they ask us to find the domain, we will be concentrating on the denominator. Let us forget about the numerator. Let us focus on the denominator. So the denominator, if I factorize, would be x square minus 4x minus x plus 4. That is nothing but x into x minus 4 minus 1 into x minus 4. So this will be x minus 1 into x minus 4. So what do you mean by domain? Domain is nothing but my input value. So I can give any real number as my domain except 1 and 4. So what will happen if I give 1? If I give 1, this function will become undefined. Or if I give 4, this will become undefined. So this is how we find the domain of these kind of questions. Okay, there is one more question for your practice. It is like this. X square plus 2x plus 1 by x square minus 8x plus 12. Now they are asking us to find the domain of this function. As I said, we are least bothered about the numerator. Let us worry about the denominator. So first thing what we are going to do, we are going to factorize this value. This is nothing but x square minus 2x minus 6x plus 12. That I can write as x into x minus 2 minus 6 into x minus 2. So this is nothing but x minus 2 into x minus 6. So what would be my domain? My domain will be any real value. So the domain can be any real value except 2 and 6. It's very, very easy problem. Right? So what I am going to do is, I am going to give you 2 questions. So you can try them and you can let me know the answers in the comment section. Right? So f of x is equals to root of a square minus x square. So I want you to find the domain and range of this function. Also try finding domain and range for mod of x minus 1. Okay, you can try out these questions, and if you have any other queries that you would like me to attend, please do let me know. Thank you very much.